Hello again, folks. My name is niXcraft. Welcome on back to the series Surviving with niXcraft, and we are in episode 10. We've reached double digits, folks. So we have some big plans today, some big building plans. I'm very inspired after this build in the last episode where we got mending for 1 emerald, and I have all of my tools healed up and ready for some building now. So we're gonna probably take care of this area behind me and talk about some storage. But first, I literally just finished streaming, and as you could see, we have some flowering azalea leaves. We ended up finding some moss in a shipwreck. It took me so long, I couldn't find a lush cave or anything, so I figured that was my best bet. We bone mealed some moss around this area, and it's looking fantastic. We're gonna get some more glowberries and stuff like that growing around, and kind of got ourselves a little lush cave up here at the spawner. But while I was doing it, those skeletons were piling up, all my tools are healed, and I'm a level 36. I'm going to try and get a silk touch pickaxe before we get started. And just like that, I'm a level 27. Still no silk touch. But moving on, as I'd mentioned in the last episode, I really want to take this area and transform it and open it up and make this our storage building, I think. So we're going to come into where this cave is, and actually, speaking of caves, there is a pretty large unlit area just underneath this. I think it would be a good idea to try and clear this out first. So I'm going to drop down in there. I've got a water bucket. Should be able to make our way in. Hopefully we don't get bombarded by too many mobs. Okay, buckets down. We are flowing in. Looks like we got at least a zombie over here. And there's a witch. Of course there's a witch. Why wouldn't there be a witch? And there's a baby zombie as well. He knocked me out. Okay, we could take out a few of these mobs. We'll be alright. It'll be okay. I promise. Yep, things got a little weird. Things got weird. And we have skeleton spawner number 2 of the world. Looks like there's no music disc, unfortunately. That's what I was really hoping for. But cool, I guess. Moving on. Getting this place nice and lit up now. We're not going to get too lost in here. Caving wasn't the plan today. But I did actually stumble upon a mine shaft over here. Don't know if we've been in there yet. We'll have to take a look. But yeah, I just want to get some light in here just so we don't have too many mobs spawning beneath us while we're building on the surface. Looks like a wolf may have gotten into our sheep pen. Or maybe it was these chickens. You never know. Got ourselves a lot of iron from that cave, but it's nice and lit up now. And I can't really see what's going on behind these trees, so I'm going to clear it out. I've got this suspicious stew on me that I got from a shipwreck, and I'm going to test out and see what kind of effect I get in a little bit. While I wait for leaves to despawn, let's talk about a plan. So we have a cave entrance here, sort of on a diagonal going in. We have a cave entrance here, and one also over there that I'd mentioned in the last episode, leading over to this mending villager house. So I think in the center here, we could open it up, kind of make it look like a natural cave entrance, and we could have a couple towers sticking up just outside this mountain that'll kind of cover up this flat part here and add a bit of interest as we walk in, and it'll just kind of be a central grand area to our base, and that'll be perfect because we really want our storage in the center. If I can give any advice on building storage buildings, is you want them in a central location. So even if you're playing with multiple people, with friends or whatever, or just by yourself, you want it centered around everything so you could just run to it whenever you need stuff. Definitely going to want to terraform some of this land back, so good thing we got mending on our shovel in the last episode as well, because we were going to put in some work with this guy. So we want to back this land up closer to the mountain just to give us a bit more space to walk up and put a path to it, and we could start planning out where we're going to put these towers first. Here's what the hillside is looking like now. We did some terraforming on it. It's okay to leave a bit of an incline because I think we're going to have a staircase coming up to a little front porch, and then our cave entrance right over here on this layer. So I think I'm going to spend some time digging this out a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to connect it all the way up to the other cave that's over here. That's actually not too bad. We could probably connect that all the way up, but we don't want this entrance too big. I think the other tower is actually going to end up covering this. So we'll have it pretty much even with where the nether portal is. So the view from our house would be pretty good. Starting to form our cave entrance here a little bit, and I had the idea to sort of leave a stone pillar here in the middle, and sort of like inside the cave here, with the dripstone and stone pillars that go up to the ceiling. I think that'd be pretty cool, so we gotta leave that a bit more natural looking, and sort of continue the cave over like right here, and kind of bring it up that way, and yeah, we'll just terraform that a bit more, and on the inside is where our storage will be, so we'll definitely have some terraforming to do in here, but pretty much start with just flattening out this surface. I think we're going to close off this cave. There's really not too much to do down there. Could always go back down in the future too. Those are looking great, so we could start planning out where we're going to put our towers, the front entrance here. So I'm thinking they're going to kind of overlap on the cave a little bit, so we are going to start maybe here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and this will be 4 and 5. Yeah, something like that. So it'll come out like a circle. We'll have another 1, 2, 3 here. We might have to push that back into the mountain a bit. But I don't want to go too far in. I don't want the tower sort of mended into the mountain. That would look a little bit weird. I want it popping out a bit. So let's see how far this takes us out. Got a bit of a bird's eye view now with my dirt scaffolding, even though I have some. These are the tower locations. I think it looks pretty good. They look a little obtrusive right now just because they're not really blended in well with the ground. But yeah, that's where we're going to start. I think these towers are going to go up pretty high. May even have a bridge connecting the two. And you'll see there's some cobblestone over here as well. I'm actually planning on putting another tower over there because there's another entrance in there, and we're going to use this big cave for a lot more things. So there's a lot of space to improve there, so maybe I'll be adding a third tower in today as well. Filled in all of our foundations all the way to the ground now, and we could start mixing in some blocks and get to building on the first tower here. So we're obviously going to put some mossy cobble. Hello, buddy. We're going to put some mossy cobblestone in here to kind of blend it into the ground a bit, get some green up in this gray, and also we're going to use, excuse me sir, some polished andesite, maybe here in the corners and stuff to give it a bit more foundation. But yeah, just something like that to add some texture. Had to raise it up a couple blocks, so I'm gathering up my scaffolding now. We're going to head to the top of this foundation here. And I have a lot of spruce logs that I just mined up. The leaves despawned now, but I pretty much grew 4 giant spruce trees because we're going to need a lot of it. Let me just grab up my cobblestone, and I will place that there. And I'm thinking we will bring the wall in and start going up with spruce logs. But we are going to strip them so we get sort of a smoother texture going up. And this is going to be pretty much the main part of our tower, going straight up until we get to the roof. I think that's a good height for now, maybe up a couple more blocks. But to blend in this little transition from the cobblestone to the wood, I think I'm going to bring in a couple of stairs here. I got a mix of mossy and regular. We're going to put them here at the corners. And we're going to skip this one block here. We might put a wall there in the future, but I'm not too sure. And I think this will help out blend the foundation into the tower a bit more. Yeah, it's already looking a bit better. Just adding the last few blocks onto our roof here. I really wish I could use my offhand for this. Maybe sometime in the future we'll get that. But for now, I think we're going to move on to the third layer of this roof. We're going to mix in some regular spruce wood here. It should stand out just enough and also blend in at the same time. I guess that's kind of what I was going for. So we could bring this up one more block and one more block out as well and just put a stair in there to blend it in. And I'm going to get this side and see how that looks. Yeah, that's the perfect block. It's got the same wood tone to it but a different texture with the planks. So I think we'll take that up a decent amount of blocks and make some windows up there. Yep. That's definitely a tower. Remember when you're building to always take a break and look at the sunset for a while. Nice. Deep slate bricks are probably one of my favorite new blocks that have been added into the game. We've got it on this roof over here and our starter house, so I figured we might as well take it to this one as well. And right when we get into the center, we'll turn the stair this way and add a slab on top, and we'll get some peaks on all sides. Really help us out with the roof. Got our deep slate trim in now, looking wonderful, and I went and smelted up some more copper and got myself to level 30, but I thought this wasn't going to be enough here. And then I remembered when you cut copper into, cut copper whether stairs or blocks, you actually get 4 of them, as you can see right here. So that's going to quadruple our profits here. So that should be plenty for both the roofs. And I'm thinking we're not going to go too peaky like we did here. I kind of want to round it off into sort of more of a dome roof. And the third tower that we're going to have over here will be a bit smaller, and that will have a peaky roof. So I think that's the plan. Maybe we'll connect these towers with a bridge. I'm still not too sure because that's pretty far. We'll see how that looks. Up on the roof now, we are only 2 blocks high, but we are already coming in with some slabs. I think we want to make this a bit smaller. And once we come in here with these, we could just put some normal blocks behind it. And I think that'll be it for the roof. And we're pretty much replicating this on this side. We need it to be the exact same height as this. Grabbed up an extra amethyst shard to craft us this spyglass here. We could take a look at the roof there, which I think came out perfect. I actually got it on the first try. I never do with roofs like this, which is that's just great. So we're gonna have to replicate it on this side and add a second tower in, but I think for that we're actually gonna kick it off into a time lapse where I'll be able to detail these builds and get them both in to get started on our storage. So hope you enjoy, folks. I'll see you back in a minute. Hey there, folks. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that time lapse. Probably one of my better ones, I think. But we now have 3 towers. These 2 behind us were built up there, and as you can see, I kind of messed up a little bit. This tower is about 2 blocks shorter than it's supposed to be, but I think that's okay. We could work with it. I'm up on the roof right now because I actually want to bring this up a little bit. Thought it was a little flat, so I'll repeat it on the other side. But as for the bridge we talked about, this is also a little bit off-centered, but that gave me an idea. We could sort of make this like a ruined bridge. Like at some point during our venture in this world, the bridge collapsed somehow. We could come up with a story behind that, but I think that's going to be really cool, so maybe we'll get that in real quick. But first, our friend the Wandering Trader has showed up, and he's got himself some small drip leaf. And you know what? I think I'm going to take it. Placing this cobble here with some spruce logs, but we're not going to strip them this time. I want to keep this dark We're going to throw some dark oak stairs at the end here. I think the plan is we're going to sort of build this up to be an actual bridge and then make it look ruined afterwards. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Building up a bit more of the bridge structure now, and I maybe lied. I think we are going to strip a couple of these. Gives it a bit more of a ruined look, so maybe just like that. And I have a couple campfires here. I think we could place them up in where I put those holes and extinguish them, so they kind of just look like broken up logs. And I have azalea leaves here as well. Could definitely hang some of these around and make it look a bit ruined. So let's fill that in and get some detail going in this. And this build is just about done. Alright, there we go. Now we got this thing looking nice and ruined. Got some vines hanging down. I also made up some chains. I think that would work pretty well. Sort of like we had a chain rail line going through this so we wouldn't fall off, but that broke in the process. So if we have a couple of these maybe hanging from these blocks? No, that's floating. Maybe we'll go over here. We gotta find a solid block in this somehow. Gotta be honest, wasn't too sure about this idea when I started it, but I think I pulled it off. So here we are, guys. Got ourselves a ruined bridge, and it looks like it broke off in the middle, leaves hanging everywhere. And once these vines grow in, I think this place is going to start looking really nice. We gotta get staircases up into the cave and everything, but as you saw, I have these furnaces going. So they're all smelting up some cobblestone to turn into stone, because I'm going to head inside and start flattening out our area so we can plan out where to put our chest. This is a storage room after all, and we are almost 15 minutes in, and I haven't built any storage yet, so let's start getting this area nice and flat so we can lay out where our chests are going. While we're waiting for our cobblestone to smelt up, I built up this little retaining wall here that's attached to a staircase, and I think it came out pretty good. Yeah, it's right there in the middle, and we could add some lanterns and leaves and stuff around it. It'll blend right into the land. Just gonna spread some bone meal around now, and we're pretty much done with this staircase. I added some buttons here along the top too, give it just a little bit of something there. And honestly, this is looking very nice, but all of our cobblestone is smelted up. Let's move inside. I think this layer right here should be good. It's even with that side over there. We're gonna expand and do a lot more in this cave on that side too, so that's gonna work fine. So we're gonna have to double and sometimes triple up on the stone because we don't want to dig through and fall right into this cave here. So we'll be sure to put a thick layer of stone over this guy, but we might be visiting this cave again. So it turns out that this is a lot of stone. I've been smelting up about 8 stacks so far, working on 4 more right here. So I'll be back. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of stone, but we have a lot of space here now, guys. I started laying out a plan for our chests. So we have 7 blocks of space in here. I'm actually thinking we could put the chests this way so we could optimize that space. And we will put a staircase kind of on top with a item frame in there to let us know what the chest is beneath it. And we could do 3 layers of that. So I'll have to do the math there on how many chests that is. But if we come to this side, we actually only have 5 blocks of space in between these pillars. That's because this little area right here I want to leave open just so we could come out to the rest of the cave to whatever we build in the future. So I think that's the plan for our chests. Let me see if I can get these in, if I have enough leather for all the item frames and everything. Oh, and these chests back here, I almost forgot. These are going to be all of our basic stones. So cobblestone, regular stone, and deep slate. We'll have a bunch of chests for those because I accumulate a lot of those over time. So that is the plan for this, and pretty much the end of the episode. I'm going to get these chests in and we'll see how this looks. Alright, we're back, guys. All of our chests are in, and it's safe to say that I'm pretty much out of resources. All of my wood is gone, all my coal is gone to smelt up this stone, and I think with that being said, we're going to leave the episode here, and we'll probably take care of the interior of this storage room in the next episode. And speaking of the next episode, I think it's time that we find the stronghold, so that will be coming soon. But for now, I appreciate everybody watching. Subscribe if you are new here. Leave a like in the video as well, that really helps me out. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.